at one point today. My goodness, bro. Look at that. VIX, 23% move on the VIX. Calls on the VIX. Printing. Weeble's down 5%. See, the thing about a large base sell-off is everything gets screwed. Everything. Google lost 240. S&P, she just lost 663. She just lost 663. 662 on the S&P. Grab somehow holding above 590. You would think this would be at 585 by now. Nvidia 188. Palantir loses 180. Hoodie, I don't know if it loses 140, but it might. Fear and greed. Well, we were at neutral. We just entered fear. We just entered fear, which tends to be the time to nibble. 41. We needed this. It's a healthy reset. You know, that's the optimistic side of this. I don't think anyone can say it's not healthy to get a little bit of a pullback and kind of settle into just like the pure day after day momentum that we were saying. Where's all the Bitcoin plays or the data center plays? All of them are still pretty green. Marathon, Riot, and Galaxy go down. Bitfarms is up 9%. Hive's up 1. Wolf is up 3. IREN is holding on to a little bit of green. Cypher is up 1, and then CleanSpark's down 1. IREN just went red. So some of them are holding on, but the rest of them are red. Look at that. Across the board. Look at the left-hand side of my screen. Everything. S&P is 50 cents away from losing 662. 50 cents away from losing 662. Dude, I don't think buying the dip is like scary here. The problem is we just don't have enough information on where the hell this China thing goes. Because what if next week it escalates? Like, that's a legit concern. What if it escalates? So I don't think it's wrong to buy the dip here. I just did on Grab, right? I don't think it's an issue. The problem is maybe if you have 100K you want to deploy, maybe you deploy like 20K today instead of all 100. And if you miss it next week, then you miss it next week. But if this shit gets worse next week, and again, we barely have any data on this other than Trump's tweet, which was a very long tweet, that's when you would want a little bit more cash for better opportunities if this continues. This is ugly, bro. It just randomly happened. Let me see if I can get some more coverage on this. Randomly taking place on a Friday. Let's go to Bloomberg. Let's see what they have. If they have anything here. Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's weird. Gold is still moving. It's a total rug pull. Total rug pull. If you bought anything this morning, if you rolled any covered calls, complete rug pull based on this shit. Hood down 5%. BMNR 54. Wow. Well, look, I mean, it's not surprising, right? ETH is headed below 4,300, below with 4,200 potentially. 1 tweet is all it takes. BMNR again, 54. Will we get a V recovery here? We were almost getting a V recovery like 5 minutes ago, and then we just made new lows. For us to get a V recovery here, either the algo's got to be like, screw it, it's not that big of a deal, or Trump has to put out some more information about what the hell's going on. And I don't think the market has that information yet. Duolingo, yeah, it could be a dead cat bounce easily. No, Bloomberg's not covering it. Don't have any coverage from Bloomberg. S&P 663. Duolingo 331. That's down 2%. It's a good setup for earnings. You know, in the midst of this, I agree. I agree. It is a good setup for earnings. I just got a text message from the dentist. Hi, Amit. I'm just calling to see how you're feeling after your root canal. Well, lady, I'm down $120,000, so not the best. Sorry, $130,000. Should I actually text that to her? No, I should be like, no, I'm doing okay. It's great. Everything's fine. Duolingo 330. That one's getting hit. How about quantum? Is quantum getting hit? QBTS 33. That's down 5. That's down 5. Goodness, bro. This came out of nowhere. But yeah, I agree with what Roan said in the chat that this is a good setup for earnings, right? Because, I mean, do you really want to have earnings while everything's at all-time highs? No. I mean, you want to have earnings when, Robinhood is not at 155, but Robinhood's maybe at 142 or 140 or 135, and they can actually grow into the valuation if they get the premium on earnings, if they put up an amazing earnings. If they're at 155, it's almost like, hey, how high do they have to go? And maybe they just keep going nuclear, but if they don't, then that's when you tend to get sell-offs after really good earnings. So, I mean, it's not a horrible setup. Maybe Trump is just setting up the Q3 earnings cycle by tanking everything so that companies actually have some room to move. But nonetheless, wow, 662. We just lost it. We just lost 662 on the S&P, 661. Folks, we are down 1.3%. We have not had a 2% day since April 21st. Maybe today is the day. Maybe today is the day. Ugly, bro. Ugly. Dude, our year-to-dates on the market close. Not going to be as good as it was 2 days ago. Oh my gosh, bro. Now it's 140,000 for me. This shit just keeps going. This shit is going down. We are going down. Sam, what the hell's happening?
Dude. When this happened, I was driving my kids to school and then I dropped them off. I pulled over in the road and I'm like, I need to sell some call credit spreads. This is insane right now. Like, I need protection right now. And then, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm late.
I think the S&P wants. I think the S&P wants a 2% down day, dude. It's been 5 months. I mean, it looks like maybe we get it, maybe we don't. But
I sure hope so.
Sam, your audio is a little low. You just pull up the gain or pull it closer to you. I know you're dealing with being a live streamer now. I saw you were struggling a little bit yesterday. There's a lot of comments. You got to deal with a lot of stuff. It's part of the game.
There you go. Have it better now?
Much better.
Better? Yeah. For some reason, it switches it here. Yeah, that was a crazy stream yesterday. I don't know how you do it.
What are your raw thoughts? This is the headlines for those that haven't seen it. These are the 3 things Trump said. Do you think this is a something burger or a nothing burger?
I think it's a something burger for the market right now. Long term, this is going to blow over. Easily going to blow over. But right now, I mean, market's going up every day. And then you had ETH basically. I pointed this out in the stream yesterday. You had ETH testing the 20-day moving average and the 50-day moving average yesterday, like barely supporting, completely broke it this morning, right? And then now you have, hood charts still look strong. Like, a lot of charts look like they're kind of teetering. Amazon, that just broke down. Like, it thought it was going to be above that, it's going to break that. This is a pretty nasty setup for earnings. Pretty decent setup, but I'm not trying to be a hero right now. Like, there were some crazy moves we all caught in the last few months. You got to know when to stop yourself out in a lot of stuff. I stopped myself out in a bunch of stuff, and just kind of being a little bit cautious right now. I think here on the SP 500, we broke below the 20-day moving average, which is pretty bad for a single day. It's like a weekly engulfing candle. Like, that's terrible. The Qs broke below the 20-day moving average. I don't know, man. You got sentiment up here. It just doesn't take that much for it to come down, and this is a lot. This is a lot for the market to
guys. Robinhood Legends being a little bit weird, so I'm going to pull up Webull because it's just kind of lagging out a little bit and not showing some of the stuff. But dude, this is pretty aggressive. I mean, this is the most aggressive day we've had in a while, I would say. I guess from a China perspective, do you think it could accelerate next week if China comes back and says screw you?
Yeah, no, they're going to retaliate. They're going to retaliate. They're not going to let this slide. Is there going to be some concrete retaliation, or is it just going to be mudslinging back and forth? It's going to be mudslinging, dude. It's going to be like just back and forth. But it's not going to be good news for the market. I've been waiting for something like this. I didn't expect it to happen all at once like this, but I've been waiting. And yeah, we could get some opportunity here. I mean, I don't know really what else there's to say with like this particular macro because it looks like everyone is just as surprised as we are. We got the Qs down here at 596. This thing is just falling off a cliff. And yeah, I hope people sold cover calls because we're just kind of undoing. Like we're trading where we were like 2 weeks ago.
Matter.
We're trading like we're trading like we were last week. Like it's not
pretty much.
We need this. We need this blood. I know a few people who are very happy about this right now.
I agree. We need this blood. The question is the quality of the blood. Like, is this China blood something that could last way longer than expected, or is it kind of just whatever? Kind of, like
no. I don't think this is gonna last. This isn't gonna last because like this isn't gonna be concrete. Now, how long is it gonna last for? Well, I mean, I don't know. I would say probably about a month or two. You know how these things like kind of escalate. I think it's gonna escalate, but I think we'll know pretty damn well like when it's pretty much done. We still got a couple weeks till earnings, so this can go on for a couple weeks at least until earnings take a spotlight again, and it likely will. So, is this a dip? Is this a dip?
Well, S&P down 1.5% is a dip, but some individual like Robinhood's not a dip in my opinion, right?
Yeah, no, it's at 142 right now.
It might lose to 140, but that's still not a dip in my opinion. So,
BMRs, yeah.
Okay, look, if you're long something that's super high beta, you're gonna feel the pain right now.
Yeah,
right. You're gonna feel the pain.
I didn't want Cares though to win, but it looks like they're gonna win. I didn't want Jim Chanos to win either.
Goodness, bro. Why do you think Trump tweeted it? Do you think he's getting pressure from other countries to like fight back against China? Because he did mention a lot of countries are getting these hostile, essentially export control threats from China.
Yeah, so I missed the part where other countries were getting export controls. I haven't been looking for it. So yeah, no, that's what he said. So like, but it didn't make headlines. So like, I totally missed it. I did see the news for the export controls on rare earth materials from China the other day. And to be completely honest, people told me to talk about it and I completely dismissed it like a moron. I guess that was the warning shot, but it just seems like that warning shot is coming to fruition now, and it's probably going to be a bit more important than we think. I don't think this is the type of market where I'm going to like dive in right now and buy the dip hard. Like this is where we were last week. Why? Because the time to buy was in April, May, June, and even July. Those are the times to buy like hard, but we need to have a pullback in order for the next leg higher. I think ultimately we're going to end up higher than this, but man, I am still confident about my 7,500 price target. I'm still confident. I think it's going to happen. We'll see.
No, I do agree I do agree with you on that. We need to go lower to go higher. I also think him saying I'm canceling my meeting with Xi, either he's serious about that or he's using that as like leverage to try to get a meeting. Yeah, it's a threat.
It's a threat.
But it's not good for the end of the year for the two biggest leaders of the biggest economies to not have a meeting, given they've been in a trade war for a year, right?
It's not good. It's not good. I was caught completely flat-footed today. I was watching your stream. I was literally dropping my son off at preschool, and I was listening to you in 1 year, and like I hear you like freaking out, and I'm like, man.
Well, no, because we pulled it. Someone asked a question about BMNR. I pulled it up. It was at 58, and it drops to 56.50 in front of us in like 2 seconds. And I'm like, Ethereum's going down. But then everything started tanking. Like, this is bigger than that.
I'm not trying to catch this knife. I'm not kidding around. I'm not trying to catch this knife. In fact, we broke that 20-day, so we might have reversed a strong medium-term bull trend. And when we do that, I like to sell short-term rips. So, but that's from a trading perspective. Long-term perspective, dude, I'm not buying anything right now. Like, there's nothing
S&P 660, it's down 1.5. It bounced off 659.
Recovery.
Yeah, got a little recovery. Let me get a bit more coverage on this, and then we will keep going from there.
On China. Joining us this morning, Jeff Moon, founder of China Moon Strategies, former assistant U.S. trade rep for China Affairs. Jeff, it's good to have you back. Thanks for coming to the line.
Thank you.
Do you think this moment was inevitable?
I think so. I think we need to really step back. This is all part of the bargaining process. Both the U.S. and China, I think, want to somehow get together and reach some kind of an accommodation without resolving all of the trade disputes. From the Chinese perspective, in the meantime, the U.S. has been increasing measures against China, for example, adding companies to the entity list, and there's a lot of rumbling in Congress about additional export controls. And the Chinese, I think, wanted to draw the line and say, stop it. Let's start bargaining here. So what the Chinese have done is pursued several goals. One is, frankly, retaliation. They are mirroring, with their rare earths measures, they are mirroring how the U.S. treats semiconductors. The U.S. foreign direct product rule says that any element of a semiconductor that has American technology enables the U.S. to regulate all of those semiconductors. And the Chinese are doing the same thing with our rare earths. The Chinese are also trying to pursue their usual strategy of divide and conquer, which means that they are trying to get pressure on the U.S. government from semiconductor companies and perhaps from other countries as well, to get the U.S. to soften some of the measures that are out there. The Chinese are also trying to pursue their goal of self-sufficiency. I don't buy the argument that we need to sell the Chinese because we'll get them addicted to technology, because they have always said they want to be independent and develop their own technologies. So that's not valid to me. And they want to get the U.S. to relax tech restrictions as well. So there are lots of goals that are going there. The question is, what are the real intentions? I think the Chinese want U.S. chips, despite what they say. And I think Trump wants to go to meet them in Korea, despite what he says. So nothing has happened that is irreversible here. Right. This is all snarling and bearing fangs at each other. And I suspect that that things are going to calm down. Trump's threat to impose massive tariffs is a hollow threat, because he exhausted his ability to impose massive tariffs months ago, back in April. And I think the talks will resume and they'll reach some kind of accommodation.
I think that's also pretty fair analysis. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys, I don't think, want to keep their economies against each other.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not a nothing burger. At least there's not enough information out there to decide or determine whether it's a nothing burger right now, other than there's, of course, price action and a single story tweet from Trump. This is going to develop over the weekend. We don't know. We just don't know. And the market hates uncertainty. And you just served it a big plate of uncertainty delivered straight via DoorDash. And it got it, and it does not like it. So frothy names are going to get sold. I'm actually surprised, like, data center names are still super strong.
Dude,
yeah,
like,
I'm not complaining. But dude, Baba is down, or was down 7%. So China names are getting sold off. In fact, Alibaba broke the 20-day moving average this morning, but it was like,
160.
That looked like that. I saw this around like $180 something, and I was thinking about shorting it. I should have. I was thinking about shorting it. But if there is one side that's going to be impacted by this a lot, it's going to be China tech.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they need our chips. Like, they need our chip. It's very clear they need our chips. It's not like the export controls came off, you know, and then there was all this stuff when it came to chip buying. We got the $49 billion chip manufacturing that China's trying to do, regardless of the export controls, which means that China's trying to invest a lot of money into their own chip supply chain and fabrication build out. $49 billion is a lot of money, right? So they're in a rush to do it. And then this is like basically cutting them off from that whole system. Like, Trump's probably going to go for the neck on this one. He's going to go for the jugular on it. He's not going to go for their head. He's going to go for what's supplying them here, right? So the other way around.
Let me ask a question. Do you think, put in the chat as well, do you think this issue that we've discovered in the past 20 minutes could mess up the bull market for the end of year? If you had to put a percentage chance, put in the chat, percentage chance this would mess up the 7,000 S&P that people are thinking could happen.
I don't think it will.
There's a 0% chance.
I don't think there's a chance. We have earnings coming up. If those earnings are good, then it doesn't matter what happens here, right? Like the sentiment's going to come back. In fact, I think it might actually fuel the bull market if this does end up blowing over. So
yeah.
You know, like if this blows over, we're ending up higher than we were before he tweeted this.
Well, I'll give it a 1% chance. I don't want to say 0, but you know, there's always a chance that this escalates dramatically, but it feels like it's posturing more than anything.
That was a binary question. I thought you
no,
were
percentage
yes
chance.
or no.
If you had to put a percentage,
I would say 15%.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
think 10 to 15% is reasonable if it escalates. If it's just him posturing to get a better conversation with Xi in South Korea whenever they meet, then you know it's just Trump being Trump at the end of the day.
I don't think it's going to escalate. I mean, I don't think it's going to like actually escalate to something concrete. I think it's going to escalate, but I think it's just going to be words. I don't think it's going to be like anything where, hey guys, the bull market's canceled. I don't think it's going to be like that.
Oh, you're getting some green candles. S&P, there's that green at 663. Grab back to 6. So 590 buys were not too bad. Rocket Lab trying to get back to 70. Hoodie 142 to 145. Oklo, just that one. It barely had a dip.
That was up. I didn't know that was up 13% today. That's insane.
No, it was up more, but now it's, you know, it's at 161. Now it's at 156. So
I mean, is data center really impacted by this? I kind of makes sense, right? Like why we wouldn't sell off data center and energy stocks is because like the AI narrative is still strong. Like it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see it going anywhere. And, you know, you have some like I think the market is looking long term with a lot of these high beta plays. Obviously, if the market takes a hit, it will take a hit. But like it needs to take a meaningful hit, like for there to be dramatic fundamental damage to the entire storyline. Like if this circular investing theme or circular investing thesis actually starts to become a little true, these stocks will get hit. Because if we're talking about malinvestments with a lot of these companies that are running hot. Correct. But if we're just talking about export controls, dude, it's like, man, we've been down this road before. We know it's going to be fine.
Yeah. And again, like China, you know, IREN's data centers China doesn't have an impact on that. So I think
no, that's all domestic.
It's all domestic. Bitmine from 53 to 56. Bitfarms just below 5. Oracle just below 300. Applied Digital, it was up 35. Now it's up 18, but still a great day.
That sucker was up 35. Oh, no, it was at 35. Okay.
No, it was up 35% too. It was at 30.
Hey, I welcome this bounce. Let's go.
It was at 38.
Let's go.
The meme stock ETF just went green. There you go.
There is risk on, apparently. Apparently it's risk on, but I'm not chasing it.
Look, here's the thing. Again, 30% of fund managers have not matched their benchmarks this year. So, I mean, this has got to be a day where they are salivating at buying something so they don't have to chase.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing behind this. In fact, there's do you know the NAIM exposure index?
Yes.
Yeah, so that came in at about 84 last week. The average is around 85, but like anytime you get like close to 100, that's like, okay, fund managers are short term a little bit over allocated, or like they're not a margin, but if they're on margin, then that would be crazy. But like we weren't there yet, you know, so how much can we possibly sell at this point? Like that's why I'm about 10 to 15% is going to ruin the bull market, because it's like you're saying, like they're waiting for this dip, and the dips are getting bought hard, right? I might go grab some Mercy Tequila. Dude, I might go grab some Mercy Tequila. Oh, shit. I'm about to go to Disneyland tomorrow. Don't screw my... Where's Disney at? You're
going to Disneyland? Dude, okay. How much is that costing a family of what? 4 or 5? Is that like 5-6 grand?
Let's just say all my gains for this week is going down the gutter because of this damn trip. But Disney's at
Dude,
110
you're
bucks.
You're helping out Mickey Mouse. Right here.
Yeah, I'm helping out the top line for this company. I don't know if it's gonna do much, but yo, man, people still gotta kick it with Mickey. That's not happening. That's not gonna change anytime soon. Yeah. Oh man, that's a crazy trade. Oh, go to UUUU.
Energy fuels. Yeah, that's been great today.
Damn, Stock Talk is killing it with that thing.
By the way, BLS says CPI October 24th. So we will be getting CPI, folks. I thought it would be next week. It's going to be in 3 weeks. So we will be getting CPI, which is good, but it's going to take some time to get that data. We were supposed to get it next week.
Just got back from an 8,000 euro Disney trip. Dude, did you stay at did you hang in Mickey's suite or something? Like, how did you spend 8,000 euros on a trip? You know what? Okay, I could see that.
Dude, it's Disney, bro. The kids want the stuffed animals and the good food.
Have you been to Disney before?
We went to Disney World when I was like 10 years old, a long time ago.
Okay.
But haven't been there since then. Palantir 180, that's a little bit of a V shape. S&P still down 1.25. It was down 1.7. So that 2% red day, maybe we avoid it today.
Yeah,
you are getting a bounce.
That would have been nice to have like a deep red day, just to like shake all the fraud. Whoa, the VIX is above 20. Oh, it was above 20.
Bro, what if Trump is upset that he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, and that's why he did this?
No, I don't think so.
What if that's the reason?
I don't think he's gonna get Nobel Peace Prize. Who votes for that stuff anyway?
I have no idea. No idea.
You know, I gotta be honest. I'm looking at this VIX chart. That was a massive spike. These people got a cover now.
Yeah, usually when VIX has a spike like that, it tends to signal a little bit of a top. You know. Or sorry,
I totally get it.
It tends to signal a bottom once that happens.
Yeah,
Look at that.
It does tend to signal a bottom when the VIX does that. Like, that's a pretty insane candle for the VIX. Look back in May 23, the VIX had a huge pop, but I don't know. I really don't know what to make of it. This is the reason why I'm not like trying to dive in, because like I don't know what to make of this. My brother said new all-time highs tomorrow. That's how much he thinks this is bullish.
Well, tomorrow the market closed. So
I know that's why. That's how bullish he is. He said new all-time highs tomorrow.
All right, put in the chat what you've bought. If you bought anything, put in the chat. If you sold anything, put in the chat. Also, Monday, Sam, the market's closed, right?
No, not the market. The stock market is open, but banks are closed, which means treasuries are closed. And bond markets are closed, and there's like other markets that are closed too. But the stock market this is basically another Good Friday where the bond market is closed, but the stock market's open.
Okay, so we will have a market open, but you do have banks that are closed. Looking through the chat, I see some people saying that they're selling a decent amount of stuff. Some people are saying I sold HIMS. Bought BM&R, bought Grab, bought SoFi, bought Tesla, bought Poet, bought Open Door. That was at 770, still at 770.
I got a position open. Like I gotta stick with Shopify in this one. I think it's gonna come back, but it's a YOLO bet. It's a YOLO bet.
Shopify still down 4%. I see Metas. I see Amazon's. Amazon got below 220. Now it's right back above. I see IRENs. I see a lot of BM&Rs. JD, Adobe. All right, dude, people bought the dip. I mean, people put some money in. And now I guess next week we're going to find out how much this escalates or if it really is a nothing burger.
Can you imagine if, well, I don't think we're going to close green today. I think we're probably going to close maybe a little bit.
Imagine if we do close green today, dude.
If we close green today, I'm going to be completely shocked. I like the relentlessness of the market lately has been insane. But if we close green today with no development in this news, I'm going to be like completely shocked. Like it is time to get back in some Amazon Leafs if that happens.
No, if this is a test for the market on how resilient it is, and we somehow, maybe we don't close green, but we get very close to green. I mean, that just goes to show you how much demand is on the sidelines that was salivating for some type of opportunity. And it
I
happened.
mean, it would be nice to get at least a 2% down day on the market, or maybe at least 3.5% pullback in the market since April. It'll be nice to get that, but I don't know. I'm looking at this chart, dude. It doesn't look like it's happening. It looks like people are buying the dip hand over fist. Hey, so I don't want to like direct a story, but like we could talk about a lot of stuff. But I was just curious why you're bullish AppLovin here.
No, I did it as a trade. I bought and I sold it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were buying long term over here.
And I literally bought it at 578. I sold it at 600. Honestly, the reason
nice.
I sold it because I lost $1,000 on the freaking Chiefs, and I woke up in the pre-markets and my AppLovin buy was up $1,000. I was like, I'm making my money right back. So
the revenge trading.
Yeah, it literally was revenge trading. But look, I think if they do $7 billion in EBITDA next year, it's probably a $350 billion company that's trading at $200 billion. But obviously, there's risk with the SEC stuff. That's
I think a lot of that is priced in.
It could be.
These are adjusted EBITDA margins. We got to keep that in mind. But I'm not going to discount it, right? Like they're still growing even on those adjusted EBITDA metrics. But I mean, the thing was at $800 plus, going from $200. And I'm not going to say it's because of the price, but at a certain point, you look at the financials and then you look at the estimates, and it's like, how much more do they have to beat this to beat the estimates, right? Like this is getting to the point where like they have to really beat the estimates when it comes to AppLovin. And on top of that, like you mentioned, the SEC probe, like that's kind of an overhang that sticks with companies for quite some time. Like that's not going to be resolved anytime soon. And I'm not saying that the company's going to go south. I'm just saying that you have a probe overhang on the company, which we saw with Google for a long time, and that's why Google was trading below the 25 PE for years until the EU came out with their decision. This isn't really the same thing as that, but like you have a potential overhang on a stock. It kind of puts a little bit of a cap on it, where the market's kind of waiting to see what happens. Plus, if you look at the other ad tech names that have been running pretty hot, like Reddit as well, it kind of says that the market's taking a little bit of a breather in this entire industry.
Up, Sam, we got some breaking news. This China stuff not going away. China has opened up a probe into Qualcomm.
Oh, jeez.
At this point, as investors digest what's looking like collateral damage in this escalating trade war between the U.S. and China. Beijing's latest move is opening an antitrust investigation into Qualcomm's acquisition of Autotalks, an Israeli company that builds vehicle-to-vehicle communication tech. Now,
okay, you guys are saying that it came out this morning. I'm finding it out right now, but I think this goes to Trump's point of just like escalations with the country. They had a probe on NVIDIA a couple weeks ago as well, and it's definitely not good for relations for them to keep probing American companies.
Yeah, that happened this morning.
But China now says that Qualcomm may have violated anti-monopoly rules. The company wasn't immediately available for comment, but it supplies chips to major Chinese brands like Xiaomi, and that business could now be in jeopardy. And Beijing isn't just signaling tougher enforcement here. It is staking out a new front in the U.S.-China tech war. Last month, this same Chinese regulator accused NVIDIA of breaching antitrust law over its Mellanox deal from 2020. And according to the FT, China has now barred key domestic firms from buying AI chips from NVIDIA altogether. And this pressure campaign comes at a pivotal moment. Just this hour, you discussed President Trump firing a salvo back, threatening to call off his meeting this month with President Xi after China unveiled export curbs on rare earth minerals, essential inputs for defense systems and semiconductors. And it all marks a sharp escalation in the tech and trade showdown between Washington and Beijing, especially as Chinese AI leaders like Alibaba and Baidu reportedly doubled down on homegrown semiconductors after months of U.S. export bans on advanced NVIDIA and AMD chips. So in that context, this is less about monopoly law and more about China accelerating its break from American tech. Guys?
So that was going to be my question, Mac, was just how self-sufficient China is becoming when it pertains to.
So yeah, the Qualcomm stuff was from this morning, but I think it kind of speaks to Trump's tweet as well about how annoyed he is about what's happening with China. Nebby is still holding on to a lot of strength, down from 141, but still 137. Sam, any thoughts on the resiliency of this one?
Dude, I mean, Jason was here on Tuesday, right? He called the short-term play, right? So I think the long-term is still intact with this company. Medium term, I don't know. Short term, I mean, that sucker bounced hard off the 110 levels. Again, this comes back to what I was saying before as far as like data center. Like, how is this impacted with all of this? In fact, it's probably better because it means more onshoring. You get more demand for building data centers here. It means that you need the materials a lot faster. You need a lot more of it. And then you're going to need a lot of the chips built in the US just to lower margins. So I don't see how this is going to be heavily impacted.
Going to your point about data
scenario.
centers, take a look at this. OpenAI, 25 billion data center project in Argentina.
What?
Goodness gracious, bro. OpenAI, that just came out from a letter from the Argentinian government. Wow, look at this. Malay, he's with representatives of OpenAI.
Dude, Malay's the man.
500 megawatts, 25 billion, largest scale infrastructure initiative in the history of Argentina. My goodness.
So bullish.
It's like the Trump's China tweets just can't really have that much of an impact when you have that type of tailwind, at least on data centers. So, all right, that's what you got.
Yeah, it's so
That is what you got. All right, so final thoughts for Sam from you. Ultimately, to buy the dip. That's your take.
No, no, not here. This is not a buy the dip hand over fist for me. Definitely not. Definitely not. In fact, I would put in some protection over the weekend. Nothing too crazy, just some hedges. I put on some hedges just in case. I took a look at some weak stocks on the board and I put some hedges on it just in case something happens. But I'm not like selling things dramatically. I cut some short-term plays off. But other than that, like, dude, 7,500, baby. 7,500. Let's go.
All right, there you go. Sam, thank you. There's Sam's Twitter right there in the chat. You can check him out. And yeah, dude, I mean, real quick before you leave, how was the live stream experience yesterday?
Dude, you know what? Your audience, I'm pretty sure I got a lot of your audience attending only because I've never seen that many people attend live to my stream. I think I usually hit like maybe 150, 200 in a live stream. There were like 2,000 people there. Like, that was extremely insane. And it was funny because I was fumbling so many things. Like, I took a clip of your cowbell and I use Restream, so it's a little bit different. It doesn't automatically share the sound as soon as you share the screen. So I didn't have the sound enabled.
Oh, you had sound issues? Tell me about it.
No, I had the sound issue on the clip that I played of you ringing the cowbell when the market opened, because that was my intention to do it. But then like this, it wasn't bringing the system audio to the stream.
Yeah.
So like,
it happens. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. But also, I was also anticipating that Powell's speech was going to be something important. The dude didn't even attend the community bank conference. It was a recorded clip of him just, and I was like, that was the most nothing burger I've ever seen. But I'm glad the market didn't like fall off a cliff yesterday. That would have been a nasty stream.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to leave early, bro. You would have had to stay on and analyze.
I had to leave. My kids were coming up. I didn't pronounce any words. I didn't mispronounce any words. Thank goodness. Appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome. I mean, I love coming on here. Just, it's the energy. I think it's the energy that's just the very exciting part. And yeah, man, you're back at it strong. For some reason, I thought you were having a wisdom teeth removed because I was like, oh, this dude's gonna be out for weeks. Yeah, root canal. It's not bad. I had a root canal.
Yeah. I love it. Sam, thank you so much. There's Sam's YouTube. Everyone, please make sure to subscribe to him, and we'll get you on next week.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Later. He played it a muted cowbell. Dude, we got to watch that later. That's great. Dude, it's what happens when you're live, right? Anything could happen. Just random shit happens. He probably had no idea the cowbell would